Morning folks, how we doing? So today we're working on a 2016 Audi A6 2-litre turbo diesel. A couple of problems on it. One, he says the front parking sensors aren't working properly. The ACC or adaptive cruise control is not working on automatic braking. The other thing he says, he's had a few problems with the DPF, and he's had it in a couple of garages and they haven't been able to solve it. So we're going to have a quick look at it and see where we go from here. So just confirming the customer's complaint. You can see here front sensors aren't working. You can see this light's flashing to tell you there's a problem. Restart the system and off she goes, and it comes up again. So I'm going to read some codes and see where we are. So we're using the top-down Phoenix Plus diagnostic system here. We're going to just run some codes and see where we are. So we have a number of faults in it here. We have one on the comfort network, and that's in the parallel parking system. There you go. Right front sensor, we'll have a look at that. And the ACC function limitation due to receive malfunction data. I would say that is due to the parallel parking sensor, and I would say that's the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go a little bit further on this one here. Right center parking sensor, no signal. So we're going to have a quick look at that and see how we do it. So to get access, we're going to have to remove this part here. Get to the sensor, which is this one here, and check the wires into the back and see where we're going from there. So I popped the sensor out, and by the look of it, it's a new sensor, so I wouldn't think that's the problem. And I'm going to see this in here. I'm going to scope the wires at the back and make sure we've everything we should have, and go from there. So I'm going to use picoscope. You see it here on the screen. I can see that. Nothing fancy. All we're going to do is we're going to check the powers, the earths, and the signal. But we're going to do it over two channels. I just want to use one. I'm going to use the red channel until I've established which is the power and which is the signal. Without looking at that, I'm just going fishing. So as we're testing, I just found this little hole and that little hole, and they shouldn't be there. Something has chewed somewhere, I would imagine. I'm going to have to pull off the inner covers and have a look. Okay, so I pulled out the wheel edge liner, and I've done a little bit of looking. You can see the hole here, where our little furry friend has torn through that. And just beneath it then, actually I got my torch. You'll be able to see on the wire. See that wire there? Where it's chewed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the bottom covers, pull it down, and repair that wire and then test the system. So here we are with a better view of what our little furry friend was chewing on. You see that there. Yeah. So when I carried out my basic test, as you see this, I had 12 volts on the blue wire, and I had 8 volts on both the signal and the earth wire. And the reason is, if I can just pull this, separate this, you can possibly see a little bit of chewed on this, and then this one was shortened against it. So here we are, all prepared and taped back up and finished as it should be. I'll put it back together now and test drive it on the road. So just a quick review on what I've done on this Audi. So when I came in, we had faults in the engine management, they were related to DPF. We had faults in the parking system, the ACC, and the TPMS. So I took it on an extended test drive. We established the DPF wasn't regen and hadn't regened in 3,500 kilometers. So when I looked into it, the faults were all to do with overloading and not due to not regenerating. So I actually decided to look, and the cruise control, the system, had a fault in it related to invalid message coming back, which was caused by the parking sensor. The adaptive cruise control is on the same CAN network as the engine ECU, and that seems to have been stopping the actual regeneration happening. So what I done, I went after the parking sensor fault. Someone had been at it before. There was a bit of fresh tape on it and there was a new sensor in it, but when I was actually testing it, I just noticed that there was a bit of chewing had gone on one of the panels. So before I went down a rabbit hole of testing modules and wiring and all that, I tested just at the sensor. I noticed there was 8 volts sitting on the earth and the signal wire. And when I noticed the chewing, I decided to take some panels off underneath, and I'd actually found chewed wires that was causing that problem. So we fixed the wiring, which fixed 3 other faults in it, and then we brought the car on an extended test drive, and the DPF was regenerating as it should, and it brought the sub content way down to just under 5 grams, and the system worked exactly as it should. So at this point I'm not going to go any further on the DPF faults. The parking sensor system is working correctly. I'll turn the camera around now to see. So you can see the back sensors are working. Right, and then there's a car in front of me, so I'm just going to drive over to that, and you can see the system's working correctly. The parking light's no longer flashing. So all in all, a good fix, and and no actual part required. But who would have thought that a parking sensor could stop your DPF regenerating? There you go. If you like it, subscribe. Thanks.